Good morning, friends of YouTube. Just had a look at the pause was for this look I had at the time I seem to have left to record. Probably have a little more than that. The phones I've had, they like to undercut how much time I have to record. But anyway, I don't know what I'm gonna talk about. I just know why it's been forever since I've shot a video. Parts of my life I don't want on blast. I can't just walk down the road and take pride in my community and share it with you all. I don't live at that kind of place. Um, kind of made an ass of myself in one of the chats, and that cost me a penalty. I'd rather not elaborate on. Um, and yeah. I don't like to put when I feel like my life is disgusting, I don't like to put it on blast. Sometimes I start to feeling like a pick-me. I'm just going off the bullet points I noted in my head. Because I don't feel like a person the white race wants alive. I feel too complex, too intelligent, too secure in my masculinity and my feminine energies. I feel too androgynous and out there. And, I feel like if I were really known, but I'll never forget how much, there's nothing it's less okay to be than white. I'll never forget that. Of all the people in the world I thought needed stood up for, there is just something so damn forbidden and blasphemous about being white and being proud of it and saying, these are my people, I love them exceptionally. That's just not something the world acts ready for at all. I have, or had, the worst neighbors. They might be moving, or they're just tearing their place up. Who knows? Yeah. But, yeah. I've been feeling like my life is presentable. My parents kind of did me wrong. I've been out of a job. I haven't officially had a job since 2020 something, maybe 2020 or 2021. I just, I hated people. I wanted away from others. It was my disgust and disdain with others. Now, the good news is, somewhere in Proverbs it says, a sluggard will not cross the thorns. I don't want to hold you below me like you're less. I'm not trying to do that. But anyway, a sluggard will not cross the thorns. That's always been... Gosh, I can see the reflection of my phone in my glasses, but I'll try to ignore it, I guess. Anyway, they will not cross the thorns. That's always been true, whether literal or the metaphorical thorns you grow for yourself. You choose what thorns you're protected by. But I felt like telling y'all that for a while. Yeah, there's a good chance an anti-white will walk by my place wanting to be part of the video. But I know what they won't cross. And I know why. I'm very tapped into myself, and I know the planetary energies pretty well. I used to just shoot videos about mysticism, and sometimes that feels more up my alley. But I had always thought myself an activist until I started to be an activist for white people. Then just, I got all the resistance I should have gotten, um, that I would have expected, but not expected because, whoa, holy shit, when you start doing it, when you start to speak up and speak out for the white race and say, no, we're fucking awesome. We should be taking pride in it and loving ourselves as white, loving each other as white, uh, your race makes a poor religion. I can share with you that much. I always go back to self-deification. Got saved last year and went back to self-deification. I'll try not to go all over the place too much with this. But, yeah. There are times when I'm thinking, my race hates me and I hate them too. You know? They're all anti-white. They're just a bloodthirsty lot. Like, they, echo, echo, echo. Just not quite as evil as they, echo, 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 just close. Or close enough to equally. Yeah, it's a fine line sometimes. Just knowing, like, what am I going to show the world I represent, Because I don't agree with every talking point we go over. I certainly don't feel threatened by gays or trans people or women. That's a big thing for me. I respect the energy. The gay energy is ruled by the planetary. It's not always a pun, but I still have to laugh. The planetary energy Uranus. Call me a kid, whatever. Which is the energy of out there, just being way out there. Maybe the touches of the tisms. Maybe the tisms are also ruled by the planetary energy Uranus. I'm just saying it's an energy of the alien, the unknown, where like Neptune is people's reaction to it. I don't feel people's Neptune energy when people are feeling the feel. That's that's the energy of Neptune. Now you can always camouflage yourself. I ought to share that. And you can always sometimes the universe just wants you to be in motion, and that's it. That's all it needs from you. But there's also the slowing down of the breath that can really help. The control of your own mind starts there. The controlling of your breath. Even now, just to slow it down, it puts me in more control. It takes you further back in the mind as opposed to being up front on the edge of your seat in the reptilian mind. And I know these tricks and like what mind control is really for. It's for yourself. And I don't know how to share in all this stuff with you all. I used to be a whole different kind of content creator. I used to be a musician, and gosh, I had this long hair I was pulling off for where I was in life, like I have a friend sending me pictures from back then now and then, and I look happy. Still like my new looks better, but we change, don't we? And I haven't really thought I'm going through, or how do I put this? I've had my problems with structure, and certainly the inverted hierarchy we've been living in for decades. Um, it was really loud at my last job, you know. I mean, the way it's inverted hierarchy, the way I wasn't in the gossip circle, so fuck me, It was just gang up on me every day at the job. Uh, I would have rather had my hands on tasks, and then I could try to stretch myself to many tasks and just get shat on or something. Like it's my fault things aren't working out when I can't do all the tasks that I either set out to do or was instructed or both. Um, I strike a nerve with people, and I don't care. I really hate others. You know, good that I offend you is my attitude. Good. That makes you insecure. Good. Like, that's where I've always been at with the human race. And I still feel that way. I just, I know everybody thinks it's so hard to live with white people, and it is, but there's some of those times you feel like it's just against you. Everything is just every person, place, and thing is just against you. And some of those times, when I read Go Free, I could look back and see, no, as described in Go Free, this is anti-whiteism, the hatred of intelligence and excellence, um, the hatred of your white beauty. If there's to touch my face for emphasis, um, you just looking good, performing good at whatever it is, martial arts. They just hate you. Like, yeah, I didn't really know where I was going with this. I didn't have a subject in particular, but the the better relationship you have with yourself, I feel like the less anybody can really do anything to you. Um, I keep looking down at the phone like I know you're here, but it's still kind of. Phones have creepy eyes, don't they? um, Gosh, try not to lose my place in what I was saying. I remember. They. Gosh, what a mess up top. See, I promise you it doesn't look that bad. There's. The point is, the sluggard will not cross the thorns. Whatever it is about yourself that's keeping people back, you know what it is. You know what your defense mechanisms are, like, a scorpion or a snake, that they don't have things you don't want in you, because fuck you, they don't. It's not like that. It's just natural. They have these defense mechanisms, and you have to be what people kind of call toxic. I'm going to try not to parakeet what I've learned too much from the occult, other occultists. But no, I have learned a lot. I've been studying the occult since the near end of 2017, and I start running out of things to do. If I'm not creating, I'm being haunted by my purpose. And I'm like, okay, purpose, what do you want? You're haunting me because I haven't given up on you. And I know that I want to fulfill you. What do you want from me? No, it doesn't sit well with me to get nothing done. And it really sucks that if I take a walk, I'll be taking a walk out into hatred. And I still don't want to be confined in this structure. Um, I everywhere I go, I hear anti-whiteism, and that may partly be because that's what I've been hearing, in past tense, and it just carries over. Like my mind, a muggle would say my mind is inserting it, but I know that I'm just hearing people's energies, even if they're not saying it out loud. If it's consistent, the things you're hearing, people really are feeling that way, and it's just there to let you know that they're like that. A snake does not want you to know that you're a snake. I mean, that they're a snake. I have energies about myself where I can be reactionary, and I'm not proud of everything I've done. I, you can get to a low frequency of your own, but my demons are way more beautiful than the other demons. Uh, I I take comfort in that. I take comfort that my demons are beautiful to me, or the demons I've kept, the spirit, the types of spirits you want in your orbit or whatever. And you're going to need something. You're going to need a god or a goddess or devil or demoness, like you're going to need these energies about yourself because, as Ashurinu said, which is my favorite occultist to learn from and share from, this year is a war energy. Peace is not cutting it. And I think it's a good sign if you're just not tolerating people's drama and lies and their jealousy. You're not putting up with it. Like, that's good. I am not putting up with it. I hold down my ground here all the time because I know if I let somebody talk anti-white shit to me, they're talking anti-white shit to all whites, every white they envy. I become an avatar for their every insecurity, that they didn't measure up to something that they know is better than them. They know that there are whites who actually do things with themselves. They hate me for that. And fortunately, we have this concept, white negative, where if someone is just hateful, that's white negativity. If, whether it's because you're not measuring up to the archetype of Western kind, or because screw the Jews and blacks, whatever is making this person so negative, or, when it's over the top, just they have a problem because they have a problem. We have a concept for that, and that helps me assure myself that, okay, my movement does not move like these other movements. All the insecurities I can find in the white sympathetic sphere, like Jason has our back, the author of Go Free, Jason Kuna. He has it covered. Like, we want there to be a meritocracy. We don't want it to be because you're the most anti-white, you get the desired position, and we don't want the white negatives in control, that's for sure. But I kind of live under a rock, and I live a life best kept to myself, sort of. Just I don't see the appeal in people. You know, uh, I don't necessarily just need company, although I am happy my cat's coming home today. He's been away. Uh, so I'm I'm happy I'll have his company. But yeah, I I'm detoxing for a job. It's not the funnest thing I've ever done, but it's necessary. You know, I'll save up for better transportation than I have. Um, and I'll save up and invest in myself and my future. And I keep thinking, what am I telling you all? I don't know. This is the year of the snake. You know, so you've probably noticed a lot of people on fuck shit, and that's just the whole time they live on. You know, that's just every moment's purpose to these people. You know, to be in your ear and in your fucking face, but they're not going to come at you with their sword out. You know, they're going to talk behind your head, because they will not cross the thorns. You know that this is not their nature to be bold and outspoken and vocal and direct. You know, this is not their ways. That is no disadvantage to you. You just have to remember who you are and control your breath. And things start to make sense. And yeah, that's how I make it out here. Every street under anti-whiteism is nothing but an anti-white prison, and most of the population in this city is anti-white, even though they themselves are. I'll say they're white. I'll say that they're white, because not to me they're not. They're anti-white. They're not even people to me, really. But I know that this is all a program that we must undo from society. Look for me a lighter. And it really sucks that it has to be fifth generation war for me, because I would I would have been happy with a much more obvious war. You know, one that's more interactive, where I get to make the moves I'm capable of making. That would have to be horrifying too, and produce a lot of bad memories. And you know, I have a lot of respect for real warriors who know what that's like. In any context, whether it's just because you're an activist or you're in the army, like you're a veteran or of any sort. Like, I respect the warrior energy. Um, there's like, yeah, 3 9s in my birthday, which is the energy of Mars I'm talking about. Which brings me back to what this year breaks down to: 9, the energy of Mars. War energy. You know, it's death and rebirth, but you want empowering deaths and rebirths. You know, the clearing of the mind when you say, when I leave this space, or these ethers, whatever, I will not have the same problems I had going in. I'm not going to come back the same way I was. You know, you, we have to cleanse ourselves of this corrupting realm. Uh, and you have to remember, peace is not cutting it. There are a lot of people who should just give it a chance. But we are not that. Okay. If you're civilized, you're probably the god or the goddess on your street, at your job, you know. If you're able to keep it together, you're a divine being to everyone else. It's very obvious to them all, you know. And that's why they feel the way they feel about you. It is intolerable to them because it reminds them of what they're not doing with their self. You know, your relationship with yourself reminds them of the relationship they don't have with their self. What was that flash for? Did I reflect it off my glasses? I swear I saw this big flash go across, but anyway. Keep it up. Keep up your relationship with yourself, strengthen it, you know. Get to know your soul the best you can. It helps me to observe planetary energies, which zodiac sign the moon is in. You know, a lot about success has to do with timing, and I feel like I'm parakeeting Ashurina a lot because he is the occultist who has the most to teach about this stuff that I have ever found. I mean, unless we're talking about I can't say there's a one that tells you the most because they bring their own thing, you know. We differ. But I don't think people become estranged from their race because they don't feel an inner godhood, inner goddesshood. Like I told you all, I'm inclined to I can't even call it deification because a deity is like a concept lower than how I feel about myself. But for lack of better terminology, self-deification, like whichever path I explore spiritually, I'm coming back to me being my God. Just inevitably, I'm coming back to me being God. And awesome. That's good to know. You know, that's assuring. But you will be forced to face your shadow. You will, you know, if you can't face your shadow, you damn sure won't control it, because look at everybody else who's not facing their shadow. Look how much self-control they have. We don't have to live like that. But everybody wants me to live like that. Everybody wants me on the edge of my seat with my mind on everything that moves. That's what they need from you. They need your mind on everything that moves. And, you know, just knowing this stuff, sometimes you can just see this universe isn't shit. You know, it's not shit. So, what do we do? I don't know. But I'm at a point now where I must do something. I must create content or draw or exercise. I don't always know what I must do. But I must do things. And so I had to jump on here. At least let you all know why it's been so long since I haven't recorded. I keep wanting to be at a point where I feel like my life is way more presentable than it was. You know, where I'm way further ahead than I was when it comes to financially and how much I clean my place, and it is cleaner. But you know, the amounts of money you can't exactly tell I don't have. Like I want to be able to make make things pristine when I shoot a video. Like I've got you on a pile of clean laundry right now. Um, not a big pile. It's on a table, but yeah. Um, I I could be shooting a video where the camera's just like this or something, just perfectly held high or at level with me. And I don't have equipment like that, so I don't have anything like a studio. I have this space where I can be myself. I can create the illusion that there is peace. Because I just don't believe there really is such a thing in the physical realm while we're alive. But especially not this year. It's best I give you all the heads up. Let me like this. Bought me a pack of cigarettes the other day just to treat myself. I normally vape, but well, my water's been broken. It smells like shit, and it won't get hot. It won't get warm. So I've been showering with the last couple days. Before I was just scrubbing the key areas, but yesterday, because you want out of there, no, I don't want to be in cold water, so I've improvised with the use of a couple of pots, which I better move now. Hang on. Just yeah. I'll heat up some water and take it into the shower with me. Which gets me a lot cleaner because I actually want to be in the water. I can soap up more just more holistically. And I can't help it that things don't work here. Things never work here. I'm at a HUD place, and so just if that doesn't put the environment I'm in any better of a context, because things are broken around here. It's a bunch of lousy meth heads with no lives. Anti-whites. They're anti-white, and they want to harm our people, and they're butthurt that I will not let them harm our people. I won't let them hurt you, okay? Any of you that I can bring with me to salvation who really want to go and who really do have a people like I do. I have a people. Huh. I thought I had about found the source of the flashing. Maybe. But yeah. The having of a people. See, I used to have this thing where like there is no my people, basically. Like there's people like me and we may not meet, and I just choosing to wield my own destiny, like this just makes me an outcast, and that's that's how I'm forced to live. Yeah. But don't let your head down for people. Just stand on what you stand on, and be proud. The having a people thing, I get the sense of this collective force I'm part of too, and it's powerful and beautiful. And I'm always refining how I see it, but that is there too. There are souls who are meant to be tapped into that. Um, like whether it's for your company or your activist group, like you feel you belong to it. This is an operation you have to really put yourself into, really kind of give your whole self to. And I wanted to do that. It's hard for me. It's a little hard finding my niche here. I make it as I go. I figure out what kind of content creator I'm going to be as I go. I'm sort of running out of time here, but maybe I can make some space on my phone or something. I don't know. I just have to get it done, whatever it is. And haven't looked at you a lot because I keep looking down at my screen. But anyway, I stay on the up and up. I'll be getting a job and upgrading my transportation, and the way I present myself when I do this, maybe not that it has to be a facade. That's another thing I want to bring to the table is I want this to be authentic, genuinely authentic. Don't have to put on any mask or grand show. Just be me. Just show you how it goes. And I just woke up and desired to shoot a video today. I had been wanting to tell you all for a while, like, have your thorns, like, whatever they are, have them, God or demoness, whatever you've got. We're going to need them. It's a very war energy year where all the most indirect people who crawl on their bellies, you've had to deal with this shit. You've had to deal with this type of energy throughout the year. And we got months more of this shit. Just to bring you the energy or an idea of what you'll have to vitalize yourself with. I'll be looking into it when I get off of here. I have to hold down the balance of energy. When it's imbalanced, I know why it's imbalanced, but it is well with my soul. I accept my shadow just fine, and I need not put it against the higher guardian angel, higher guardian devil. I need not put these things against each other. They can be one within myself, and it is well with my soul then. I've been trying to solve this thing, trying not to just... I've got one layer. One layer solved. That's helped me to Have something to do when there's nothing else. uh, I don't know how this will rest on the palates of my viewers, but gosh, I wanted to share some of myself with you and tell you, yeah, don't be divided in yourself. Gotta wrap this up now. I really have less time now. Just go in there. If you have to go internally and talk to your dead, talk to your soul to have the energy. Because if it's left to my mundane self, nothing will get done. I don't see where the hell I'm gonna get energy. But yeah, it's all what you do with it. I love you all. Those of you who really fuck with me, I love you. And we're going to get through this war. We will be victorious. And yeah, I'd go I'd go further, but there's no knowing what the future holds except when there is. But I was about to say we will have this great monument in impenetrable stone, hidden for only initiates to find. Like, we will have this great statue and our names on display, forever remembered. Like, go for it, I say. I'm still learning what I'm doing here, at least with this content stuff, and that seems to still be something I want to do. Oh, good. I had at least a little more time than it said. Well, I was getting ready to wrap it up, though. Yeah. But before I just start to ramble, which it looks like I've been doing, I'll have to give this a watch. But I really want it to go up. I have things to bring to the table. I may have been a bit shy about it because I don't see where I fit in still in life. Oh, it's just fun. Yeah. I fit in with myself. Love you. Love your people. And I'll see y'all around. Peace. And war. Hails.